In our modern world, we need myth now more so than ever. We have abandoned our mythical pursuit, and because of that, its benefits have forsaken us. There can be no denying that we in our modern world face truly baleful problems, more so than our parents faced, or our grandparents, or even our great-grandparents, perhaps more so than any other part in history. And to anyone who has an aware mind and open eyes, these problems can be terrifying. It is hard not to have this looming sense of doomsday instilled in one's heart, as if an imminent apocalypse is on the horizon, as if the end were actually near, or the world is going to hell in a handbasket. I do not believe, though, that we face imminent doom. I believe optimistically that we will fix our problems before it's too late, but we will not fix our problems by ignoring them. The world will not become a better place by imagining that it is so, or making believe that it is fine just the way it is. Action needs to be taken. Realizations need to be made. Acceptance is our first step. But our solution is not a new approach. It is not an answer to be found in futuristic thinking. It's not an answer or solution of the future, so to speak. It's for the future, but certainly not of the future. To get back to the good old days, we need to search for old answers. We need to look backwards for solutions, not forwards. The answers to our modern problems lie not in the future, but in history. Specifically, I am referring to the power of myth. Joseph Campbell said that myth is the secret opening through which the inexhaustible energies of the cosmos pour into human manifestation. And Dr. Carl Gustav Jung said, myth is more individual and expresses life more precisely than does science. Myth is a symbolic expression of the psyche. It is a manifestation of the psyche. And as Carl Jung had said, all things come from the psyche. Every romance that is generated evolves from the psyche. Every friendship that is kindled, every political deal that is made, every business deal that is made, every bridge that is constructed, all of these find their roots in the psyche. And everything we see in our external world, from art to poetry to construction to trade, all of these are manifestations of the psyche, and therefore all of these things reflect something of the psyche. In other words, we can learn a little piece from each one of these about the overall human condition. And so, fitting into this category is also myth. Yet myth is a little bit more direct manifestation of the human psychology. It reflects the overall human psyche, because myth is an internal pursuit. Myth is an internal actualization. It is representative of the internal forces that we face growing in our spiritual life and our intellectual life, and trying to navigate this thing that we call human existence. So in short, myth reflects the actual form and processes of the human mind. And Jung developed a lot of his ideas from this, from recognizing the fact that myth is an exact reflection of the processes that take place in the human psychology. It reflects the growth, it reflects the changes, it reflects the overall evolution. So he believed that myth is not just something that we can see and analyze as a unique aspect of the human mind, but we need it to reflect the overall condition of the human mind. But it doesn't just tell us something about the overall human psychology. Myth, most importantly, shows us something about our individual psychology too. We see in myth that each person holds it a little bit different. Each person lives myth in their own rights and in their own ways. And each person connects to mythology, utilizes it, transforms it, and allows it to transform them in a different way. In other words, even in formalized religion, we can see myth taking on individual aspects, because all people see God differently. Let's just look, for instance, at the Christian religion. Each person will say Yahweh or Jesus, and they will say this as if they are all holding the same idea of the same God. Even though they might be all of the same denomination, they might all go to the same church, they all see God differently. This is a psychological phenomenon. But in the church, they say, this is my relationship to God. This is how I connect to God. But in reality, it is an overall different perception from another person. They perceive God entirely different, and therefore it is a different God than every other person sitting on the pew next to them. It is the same name, but it is a different God. It comes in the same vessel, but it is a different God. So myth also makes us more aware of ourselves, because we all hold myth in a unique and individual way. We perceive myth in a unique and individual way, and the perception tells us something about ourselves. It holds up a mirror to us personally and shows us what we are and who we are. But myth can also be used as a psychotherapeutic tool. It can be used to heal us, to heal our heart's wounds, to heal our mind's lesions, to heal our soul's bruises. It can help to fix our overall brokenness. It can offer us solace. It can lend us guidance, and it can gift us with wisdom. It opens doors to awe and to wonder, to mystery and to zeal. And it can give life a zest again. It can put a little bit of fire for our existence in our heart once again. And it can remind us that there is more to this life than simply work and paying bills and taxes and responsibilities, labels, and so forth. That there is more to life than the simple 9-to-5 grind, sitting in traffic, paying bills, checking the bank balance. And it can teach us that there is more to ourselves, that we are not just X amount of dollars an hour, that we are more than our job, that we are more than the labels that are ascribed to us, that we are more than what we have pretended we are, something that we tend to forget in our modern world. Myth can remind us what life actually is, and therefore it can offer a whole world of beauties, boundless mysteries, wonders, awe, and inspiration. Myth can be a muse that we lack in our modern world. So I believe more in this modern world, more so than ever in history, we essentially require myth.